Tara here with Gypsyfae Creations. Welcome back to another soapy video. I want to start off by saying thank you to all of my followers out there. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. And everyone who likes to leave me comments, I love you. I love getting to know you and chatting with you and bouncing ideas off of you and answering as many questions as I can. I want to say thank you for real. So stay tuned for Monday's video. It's going to be a little special, might be giving something away, but in today's video I've pulled out the old cake mold and I'm going to be making some key lime pies in it. So let's get started. Okay, starting off with the oils, melted down, left at room temperature, and then I have my sodium lactate and lye water solution with a little bit of titanium dioxide in here. And I'm going to apologize about the lighting. It is a very rainy, dreary day out today, so I don't have the natural light that I like to soap in. And it looks like it's supposed to be like that for the next 4 days, so it is what it is. Pouring this down the kitchen vibrator. I'm going to give it a whirl. Alright, so that's good for now. And I'm going to split some of this up into these two little containers here. I'm going to pour some of this plain batter in and set that to the side, and I'm going to use this as some like icing, type some little icing on there, and then I'm going to start with this guy here, just about that much, maybe a little more, and I'm going to be doing the crust of the key lime pie. The color, I just got some new Nurture Soap color micas in, and I've got a lustrous brown mica. So I've not used this one before, but I'm only using the tiniest little bit because it's supposed to look like a crust. So I only want like the tiniest bit of color. Let's use the end of this. Let's mix that up and see what it looks like. Like that. Doesn't take much. Already making a mess. Okay. Just take this off here. So the fragrance that I'm using is called Key Lime Pie. It is by Virginia Candle Supply Company. And it says it has about 1% vanillin in it, and to avoid the soap turning brown, I did add a little bit of vanilla color stabilizer to it. And so let's just add the fragrance in here. Mix that in. And then I'm going to fix the camera and start pouring the crust, because that is going to have to sit so that it hardens up a little bit before I pour on the next layer. Just a thin little layer on each one to look like the crust. So I feel like I had so much to talk to you guys about in this video. I think one of them was, I went to the post office today. Exciting, right? But I finally got to mail Vanessa over at Moonfern Studio her bar of soap, the wine soap. And shipping to Ireland, or I'm sure any other country, why is it so expensive? I picked like the tiniest box. It was a 4x4x4 box. And I jam-packed it as, you know, as much as I could with random items. She's probably going to be like, what the hell is this woman sending me? It'll be a surprise. I just felt like if I was going to send something, I might as well put other things in there that, you know, were cute little gifts or things that you couldn't get over in Ireland. Just because I like surprises like that. I threw in an extra bar of soap for her, and I threw in like some little gnomey garden, like the mini gnome fairy looking statues, because I know she has a lot of plants and gardens, and I thought that was really cute. Threw in some like candy in there, and I threw in some soap color in, and again, random things. But it cost about $23 to ship this tiny little box. And that was like first class. I was like, whatever is the cheapest method, that's how I want it sent. It doesn't matter how fast it takes to get there. It's just as long as it gets there. And it's going to take anywhere, I think she said, from 7 to 14 days, which isn't awful. But I don't understand why it's so expensive to ship that tiny little box. It's sad, because I would love to do more exchanges with other people. Like, I love different Bath and Body products and candy and snacks and stuff like that from other countries, but it's like impossible to do if, you know, you don't have a whole bunch of money to spend on shipping. Okay, so I've got the first layer in here, and I've sat it on a cutting board just so that I can shake it and jiggle it to make sure everything's covered and all the bubbles are out, and it makes for, you know, a sturdy way of moving this, because if I didn't have it, it would make a mess. So then let's get back to the other part of the batter on the bigger table. And to this, I have some laurel green mica. And I'm going to also add just the tiniest bit of that, because I just want like the green tint in there. I don't want like green pie. I want it that green key lime pie looking color. Mix that up. That looks good. It almost looks like pistachio pudding. I have to, you know, everything has to be compared to food when it comes to soap with me. I don't know what it is. Ooh. Alright. So I think I am done with my hand blender here. Just make a mess and get all of this out. And then we'll add the rest of the fragrance to this. And mix it in. And then we'll do the same thing. We'll just put the layer of green over top. And then I think the other thing that I wanted to talk about was my Mother's Day. And I don't have kids, I have animals, I have fur babies. And it always seems that I attract animals, whether they're injured, alive, hurt, dead, whatever it is. I just have this Snow White calling. I don't know how I find myself in these predicaments. But I found a little fur baby in the backyard. I went to go let Luke out when I came home, and I was like, let me water my flowers. And I looked down at the bottom of my porch, and there was a squirrel. No biggie, just a squirrel, nothing exciting. I have lots of those in my yard. They eat everything they can get their paws on. But this squirrel wasn't going anywhere. He was not running away very fast, and he just didn't, something just didn't seem right with him. So I had to go check on him. I'm gonna carefully pour this in here. And I'm gonna try to talk and do this. So I went and checked on him, and it was a little, he wasn't quite a baby. He was adolescent, he was a little teenager, like he was just fresh out of the nest. And his little back legs didn't work. He couldn't move his little back legs. I don't know if he had fallen. I don't know if he was just deformed and abandoned, but he was not going to survive very long in my backyard. Whether some cat was going to get him or a fox, I just couldn't leave him to be killed. Wasn't going to happen. So I grabbed the cat carrier and I'm yelling for Bradley to come outside because I have got Luke. And although Luke is blind, he can smell. He also doesn't want to listen. So I needed help. So Bradley brought out the cat carrier and we corralled him into it. He was not happy. He didn't want anything to do with me. He was trying to get away. He was making some god-awful screeching noises. He didn't want anything to do with me. But I just couldn't let him die out there. I had to help him. He deserved another chance. So we got him into a giant Tupperware container and gave him some bedding and tried to give him some food and water. And he just didn't want any of it. He wasn't eating, he wasn't drinking, and it was Sunday, so I tried looking around for some rehab centers to take him, but everyone was closed. And I work Monday through Friday from 8 to about 5:30, 6 o'clock. And the rehab center that I located, they needed me to drop him off before 5 o'clock, and it wasn't going to happen. I couldn't get out of work. Work was crazy. So I had to take care of him for a little bit until I found a different solution. And as much as a pet squirrel was just the cutest, awesome sounding thing ever, I knew he needed help and that he didn't like me. He didn't want anything to do with me. So I didn't want to risk him hurting himself or me getting bit or him dying. So I had to let him go. He had to go. I couldn't keep him. I had a coworker who lives near the rehab center come and pick him up and take him home. And I'm going to put a little picture of the guy on here so you guys can see how cute he was. I don't know what it is about squirrels. They're just like rats with tails, and they get into everything. They get into my trash. They eat all my tomatoes, but they're still cute and they're still a living thing, and I hope all the best for him, that he has a full recovery and can go back into the wild and he's taken care of if otherwise he can't. But for a second I thought about having a pet squirrel, and I guess I did for 2 days. I see all these cute little rescue stories on Instagram and I'm like, oh, I could have a pet squirrel. I like fuzzy, furry animals. I want it to love me. But he didn't want it, and he needed help that I couldn't give him, and the attention when you work a full-time job. I really didn't have time. But I'm glad I got to care for him and give him that second chance. Alright, so this looks good. And I have a feeling when I unmold these, I totally messed up those layers. No doubt about it. So I'm going to check on this icing I have over here. I've got some embeds of some lime slices I'm going to stick on there, and then I'll do some piping. Alright, so I put the icing in a little piping bag, and I'm going to just kind of make dollops on the ends here. Like that. Just like key lime pie. And I gotta say, I am not a huge fan of key lime pie. I did go to Key West though, and it was kind of like a bucket list that while I was there, of course I had to eat a piece of key lime pie, and I expected it to be like the best key lime pie in the whole world because it's in Key West. And it was alright. I don't know if it's because I don't like the tartness of it. Something about key lime pie that I'm not a huge fan of. Alright, and then I'm going to stick the lime slices on there as well. Try to anyway. Alright, keep going with this, and then I'll let these sit for 24 hours and come back to unmold them and hope they look just like a real piece of key lime pie. So I'll be back to unmold these. Okay, so these have been sitting for 24 hours, and I'm just going to pop them out, a couple of them, and show you. Whoa! I just dropped that on the ground. That's unfortunate. Alright, let's start over here. They are so easy to get out of this mold, so easy that they just fly right out and fall onto the floor. But they come out of this mold very easily. And my layers aren't perfect, but it still looks like a key lime pie if you ask me. Get an up close look here. Yeah, that looks like a real piece of pie. Put signs on it that say do not eat. And they smell good enough to eat too. They look good and they smell good. And they're soap. Look at that. I love them. I have so many more plans for this soap mold. The fun doesn't end here. I have some strawberry cheesecake ideas. And then I'm going to do a method where I actually flip this slice over and ice the top of it to look like a cake slice. Maybe stick some candles in there or something and make it look like a birthday cake. What do you guys want to see? I know I've asked that before, but I just love bouncing ideas off of you. If you guys are interested in purchasing the soap, it will be available on June 6th alongside lots of other fun soaps. And stay tuned for more fun soap making videos with this mold. Soap! Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more fun soap making videos. Questions or comments, you can leave them in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll smell you later.